What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I wanted to go over this thing I've been going through lately. It's kind of like a breakthrough. It's about pride. Like J. Cole said one time, that pride is the devil. And I never really realized I had so much pride within me until I became aware of how much I criticized people who I believed had a lot of pride in them. And so, let's say someone were to, I don't know, piggyback off of someone to make themselves feel better about themselves. All right, let's just say that. They shut other people down to make sure that they feel better about themselves. And let's say they, for instance, did that to me. I would point that out, not in their face, but in my head, and get the sort of payoff, saying to myself that I am better than that person because I know that they are afraid of something within themselves. That's why they need that external validation from other people to make themselves feel better, or that's why they need to put other people down to make themselves feel better. And so I saw the pride in them, but lo and behold, I had a lot of pride in myself because of that payoff I had of me, pointing fingers saying that they have a lot of pride. I was protecting an image. I had an ego myself. I was, feeling threatened by the way they were acting. And so I couldn't really find peace. And oftentimes it created so much tension between me and people around me. Not that maybe not many people realized, but I could just tell. I could just tell that I didn't want to be in that situation. I wanted to get out of that situation. I didn't really feel comfortable. And luckily, I didn't take any action off of that, uncomfortability. But if I were to stay in that situation, stay unconscious enough in those circumstances, I probably would have left that place, which is like a job. I'll be honest with you, it's my work. There's that times where a lot of people are just filled a lot of pride, and I catch it and I point it out and I make myself, feel better, or maybe even just shun them down. And there's always that constant tension. Now, do I let it be seen a lot? I try not to. But of course, what you hold in your mind unconsciously tends to just be repressed outside of you. So I'm sure they might have saw it and or felt it. But obviously, it's all unconscious. And I thought it was the best thing to do at the time. So I forgave myself there. But in your case, whenever you are pointing out something in someone, no matter how much more you think, no matter how bad you think, no matter how right you think you feel, there you go, it's never okay to really point at someone for their wrongdoings, because at their wrongdoings is what you believe is true, or it's your truth. At the end of the day, other people can, worship different people. They can have different beliefs. They can have different truths, and they might go against yours. But the only way to actually be able to be in, kind of push out your truth in a way is just be an example of it. Rather than trying to fix people, rather than trying to criticize people and critique them into your own truth, you just be an example of yours and allow them to be an example of themselves, and there'll be a lot less tension because you'll understand that, hey, what they are isn't a reflection of me. Whatever I see may be a reflection of me, but I can also let those thoughts go. And it gets very, very spiritual and very, very technical. So you just gotta be aware. You gotta be aware of whenever you are having that spiritual ego within you that is shutting down other people and or maybe making yourself feel a little jealous, or there's some vanity, there's some gain, there's some whatever it is a little payoff you get. It's okay that those things have happened. I'm not saying you should change this, because obviously this is my truth. But it helped me find a lot more peace. And I believe that's what's like the ultimate goal in my life and in this channel, is help everyone achieve peace and achieve joy and achieve a lot less stress within our heads, and be able to go with the flow a lot more in life, rather than fighting everything that comes in it because, well, we don't like it, or there's something in here that we can't accept. And so what this channel really is all about is accepting who we are within, not fixing, but getting closer to the truth that we believe is truth and expressing it. Be an example of our own truth, and of course, following whoever we want to follow. That's pretty much my whole story. There was times where people were being prideful that I thought, and I just shunned them down inside my head. I was protecting an image. I was afraid of how people thought about me. I was afraid that maybe they'd be better than me. But at the end of the day, what's real can never be threatened. So just let go of it and be here and be still and be an example of your truth. And yes, it might sound optimistic. It may sound like, well, if someone's, being so mean to me, I can't do anything, or I shouldn't do anything. If you get mad at them out of spite, out of anger, it's not that you're supposed to be a robot and never feel emotions ever again. If those things happen, they happen. But I advise you to try to let those things go. I advise you maybe look at that next time and be like, hey, how can I let that go? What am I pointing out so much in them that I might just see in myself, that might just be within myself? And it helps you learn. So every single time I'm pointing out different things in other people, I'm realizing, hey, I look at myself the same way. I criticize myself the same way. I stop doing things because I think about those circumstances at myself the same way. It might have made no sense, but in my mind, let's say someone created a video just like this, and I were to see it online. There's sometimes my head, I'm like, what is he doing? That made no sense. Why is he trying to share that truth? Why is he trying to go to that perspective? But at the end of the day, it's just him sharing his own truth. And sometimes it doesn't allow me to share my own because I'm too embarrassed of what people might think of me, or my friends, or my family. And so you get the full cycle. You get the idea. I know this video might have been all over the place because me and editing don't go hand in hand. But I don't know. I'm gonna start picking up the camera like this just a quick more, and hopefully the sound quality isn't so bad. Maybe I'll put my mic on next time if I feel like it. But yeah, God bless. Hope this helped, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and or follow me on my Insta or TikTok, daydaytalkss with 2 S's at the end, no spaces. Deuces.